Hal here with more Space Engineers. And happy Tuesday, everybody. From Hal on the Moon. Yeah. I've been doing a little bit of work off camera. As you know, I've not been focusing so much on the actual build material or the build series so much. It's more about the here's what's been going on, here where we are, and then showing basically updates to what we've been doing. So the last time, if you remember, we finished the expansion area here that's going down to what will be, well, what is going to be, at least at some point, our base expansion and our silicon mine. Let's go put our helmet on. Now, if you remember, when we last were here, as I get kicked out into the deep space, I was harvesting platinum as well as some other resources, so I've spent, maybe upwards of 5 hours just hand mining things to be able to get the resources together. And what we ended up with is a new mining ship. And it's a big old mining ship. Now, I've already had to make updates to it. So this thing has gotten a little bit ugly. When I first started, it basically had 4 thrusters for lift. I eventually went back and added 3 more. And the reason I put them on this side is because I'm trying to keep the entire profile of the ship within a relative size to the mining array itself. So I may be changing where that and these 2 back thrusters are, because I have found that I need at least 6 thrusters, and I think I've got 8 now for lift in both the horizontal as well as vertical flight configurations. We do have a large cargo container, 2 gyroscopes, a crap ton of thrusters, and we only have 2 thrusters for push. And then we have 2 thrusters on both sides for the lateral motion, as well as 2 descent thrusters. But because we did get enough platinum together, we were able to go ahead and make this whole thing an ion-based system, and I did not need to worry about piping in hydrogen systems, which was good, because I don't think I would have been able to get them in here if I had wanted to. So overall, the ship actually handles really well. I did do a bit of an exaggerated point on the front of this. Basically, we moved everything for the center line forward a little bit. I found that gave me a little bit better positioning for things like the thrusters, and at the same time it actually helps with the way that the mining works, because what will happen is these 3 will cause a change in the way that the voxels are in the game. Basically, the surface terrain changes will originate here, which basically gives you a divot that these then cut into as well, which ends up giving me a fairly circular cut. Let me see. Was it here? I think it was here. This is the hole that you get from mining with this thing. And it was basically, as you can see, you've got this really deep divot here in the middle. And I've just found that it was really, really easy to get what I was looking for. It gave me a very high level of precision in the way that I was mining. And so I'm really liking that design, and I'll probably use it again moving forward. I know that a lot of people will tend to basically put them all on one plane. But like I said, I found with this setup is that I think I have a little bit more control over it. When I do the everything on the same plane as one big wall of drills, I run into a situation where I am likely to break the drills on the outer edges. And so far with this setup, I haven't really run into that. I've even slammed this thing into the ground at, I think it was almost 20 meters a second. And it basically bounced, so I can't complain too much. One of the drills did take a little bit of structural damage, but it wasn't anything that was earth-shattering. And because of the way that it's built, if I was to have a catastrophic failure, yeah, English, it fails me sometimes. I'm not losing large sections. I'm most likely only going to lose the drills, and I probably will only lose one or two of them. So having everything in that offset really does seem like it's giving me a little bit more of a secure build. Pardon me, hiccups. All right, so, but now that we have that, we're able to get much more resources gathered in a much faster period of time. So, let me see, I had almost 200k ice. Let's see if it's processed out already. Yeah, so we're down to 26k of ice and dropping. This ship, for now, that's basically going to be its primary thing, is just keeping our supply line fed with ice so that we can get this ship fully recharged. And one of the things that I want to do is I'm going to start replacing, or at least adding in to the system, ion thrusters. So we will basically have some of our lift capability. Well, I'm going to leave our lift capability for what we have. But what I want to do is have ion thrusters on it as well. This will allow me to basically be able to maneuver through space without burning the hydrogen, so we don't have to be quite so dependent on the ice. So that's going to be probably the next big project. I still do need to finish up the base. We haven't really made any changes to the base except to add a second refinery, because I was finding that we just were not able to refine resources fast enough. And it really was basically the largest bottleneck that I was having. It was taking so long to refine some of the advanced resources like the gold, silver, cobalt, and platinum that I actually had enough time to fly, using just my jetpack, anywhere from, say, 1.3 out to, I think one of the nodes over there was almost 3 kilometers away. So that told me that, yeah, I needed to do something to change that. We do have the efficiency mods on the refineries, so I am getting, basically twice the resource out of what we would normally get, which is good, because of the fact that we were hand mining. I didn't have enough resource to really not be doing, trying to double it as much as possible. So, all right, so that's what's been going on. What I am going to do now is I'm going to take the mining ship out. We're going to go pick up a little bit more ice. That way we can keep processing so that we can get the ship full. And then we're going to start bringing things over to the orbital base so that we can get working on that, because we still have to put the shipyard together over there. We're going to need a lot of resources. And yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and do a quick cut, and we will be right back. And we're back. And I just wanted to give you a quick view as to what it looks like when I'm mining with this thing. Just to show you how much clearance we get when we're using it. So now I can, obviously, I've got the system set up so that we are using it with the left and right mouse button. So using the left mouse button, we're just mining as normal. If I was to use the right mouse button, that would actually allow us to do the crater. Basically, it's just the remove without the harvesting of a resource. But as you can see, this is the setup is allowing us to fairly easily harvest a large amount of materials. And like I said, if something were to happen where I lost control of the ship, I am more likely to be able to save whatever I can, to save the most of it. Okay, so let's back out of here and just see what we've got, because it looks like I may have hit the stone a little bit. Right? Are we... Okay. Yeah, so I ended up with 21k of stone, but I've got almost 500,000 ice. So that should do us quite well for a while. Need to be careful that we do not take this thing upside down, because that would be very, very bad.
Ship fuel low.
I forgot to put some uranium in there.
Ship fuel low.
Yeah. Now, this is one of the drawbacks to using the uranium. Well, it's actually one of the pros of using uranium as well. because what happens is that we actually know we're running low on fuel. We don't have to have a monitoring system. Alright, so let's bring you back in here just a little bit. That looks good. Bring it up a little. Okay, almost there. Alright, and that should be good. Yep, awesome. Okay, so let me actually do this. Whoops. So in order to get in and out of the ship, what I did is I'm kind of a little cheaty thing. What I did is I left just enough space to get into the cockpit from here, which will allow me to actually get into the cockpit, and then when I get out, it tends to throw me out in front of the vehicle, which can be good, it could be bad, depending on what you're doing. Basically, don't get out while you're mining, because it will kill you. Alright, so orbital shuttles at 314. Okay, so it looks like the orbital shuttle and the small reactor in the base is basically pulling most of the power. So we're going to go ahead and throw SR-25 that way. And we're going to throw another 100 right there. Okay, so now let's check a look at the ice. Okay, we're going to move this over here. We're going to let's throw this in here. We're going to drop this over here. Alright, so we've got ice, we've got pretty much a fuel hydrogen stack. And what we're going to do now is I'm going to go mine up the platinum. We're going to mine up platinum. We're going to do some iron and maybe some nickel. I haven't decided yet on the nickel, but we'll see. All right. So I am going to go ahead and do another quick cut, get some mining done, and when we get that done, I will bring you all back. See you in a bit. Hi all. And we're back. And I have to say, I love having the jump drive on this thing. Makes everything so much easier. What I really like is you just give this little thing a tap, turn off the inertial dampeners, and just coast where you need to go. Alright, so we're 200 meters, and we are going to go ahead and change our orientation so that we're on the same plane as the base. Now, I will be adding a jump drive to the mining vehicle, so that way the miner will basically be our go-to. What that allows us to do is that we don't have to, at that point, basically keep loading this thing up. We'll be able to bring the miner directly over on its own, and we look like we are good. Okay, our jetpack is on. I am not within the gravity well of the station, so actually, you know what, let's get ourselves a little bit closer so that we are within the gravity well. What we're going to do is we're going to do it this way. That way when we back in, we don't run quite the risk of running into the station. Well, at least I hope we don't run quite the risk of running into the station. That would be rather embarrassing, wouldn't it? So, hey, look at that. We're in the gravity well. Now, the reason I did this is because it makes getting around a little bit easier. That should be good. Yeah. We'll call it there, right? And I am going to call it here as well. So I hope everybody enjoyed it. I certainly enjoyed hanging out with everybody today. I do appreciate you stopping in. If you did enjoy it, make sure you're hitting that like button on the way out, as well as leaving any comments or questions down in the section below. If you're new here, I do ask that you subscribe, simply because of the fact that, well, it's a nice thing to do. It's an easy thing to let me to let me know that you're enjoying the content, and it does help this channel to grow. On the plus side, it also helps keep you up to date when new things come out on the channel, as well as whenever there's something going on around here. And as I am generally doing things that are going to get me in trouble, no, not really, but okay, so I do need to finish all of those. I need to finish those. So I'm going to actually have to go back and pick up all of my supplies, as well as the silicon, so I can finish these off, so I can start pressurizing this place. Oh, so much to do. See, it's been a while since I've been over here, so I'd forgotten that we hadn't actually finished all of our refineries over here yet. So this should be interesting. Anyway, I hope you all have a fantastic day. Like I said, thank you very much for stopping in. It is appreciated. And yeah, hope to see you all back here next time for more Space Engineers. As always, folks, take care and be safe out there, everyone. Man, I have to say, this is just absolutely breathtaking every time I see it. Now what we need to do is have something that will allow us to launch very large boulders at the planet. Oh, let's get this stuff unloaded.